We are back once again for Real to Real.
Real to Real.
All right. Hey, man.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Friday.
Happy Friday. It's great to see you again. It's great to be back on another episode.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We've made it through the summer.
Yes.
School is finally starting. We've been talking
I know. Just setting a routine.
I'm ready. Yeah. The routine finally get going here. And yeah, it's been a pretty good summer all around. Pretty weird summer, too, I think.
Yeah.
It's been
surreal.
Very rainy. There's a
Yeah.
storm.
Dude, everywhere it's raining all the time.
We did see some movies in the theater. That's always fun.
Sure have.
Good movies.
So great movies this year.
Odyssey, Toy Story 5.
Yep.
Obviously, the next big one, or the one what we talked the last time we were on the episode, we just got done seeing the Odyssey, and we were just about to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yep.
So it's been about 3 weeks now, but we're ready to talk about it.
We made that day happen. I couldn't stop thinking about it. That's kind of like just made the perfect segue into this month.
Yeah, really.
You saw that August 1st, so that was just instantly.
Oh, yeah.
It was set. The month was set straight.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. Kicking it off with Spider-Man Brand New Day, and since the beginning of August is kind of getting ready for the school and back on the work grind, and I was able to watch some good movies and really powering through TV land now. I mean, we're at the final stretch.
I've seen some footage, brother. No, I'm in a whole other place over it, man. It's gonna change something in me, man. I already feel it, just the way you told everything.
And I think it's gonna be really surreal for you, is particularly because you're the star of it too.
I know, it's very surreal.
You have no dialogue.
It's so surreal that I don't even know, because I keep wanting to give feedback, but I'm like, I'm telling you, man, I'm so biased that because I mean I'm part of it. I'm like in it, so I mean it's just such a big deal. I really like it's one of those things of I like have very surreal images of all the times we filmed, but do I remember all the details? Not at all until I see it unfold, and then it all hits at once.
Right.
And it's like something is complete, and aha kind of happens.
That's cool. So even with some of the footage you saw, where that kind of gets some of that feeling.
It clicked a lot. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. A lot of like question marks are kind of just being fulfilled in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And there's still more because I haven't seen it all yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a first 90-minute feature, man.
Dude, it's looking like a masterpiece.
We'll see.
It follows a great kind of.
Very excited about it and very ready for it to be done. But yeah, it's getting right there to the wire. So yeah, we're just finally back. We'll see how much of the consistency we can get again on whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, but we'll just keep going from here. We appreciate everyone still tuning in and checking us out. So Brother Blake, you just want to kick it off with Spider-Man?
Let's kick it off with Spider-Man.
Because I feel like we got a lot of
That's just organic. There's so much to it.
Well, man, first thing I want to say about Spider-Man Brand New Day was, wow, I am so happy we live in a timeline where Spider-Man is still making movies, and they're just it finally, for the first time, we feel in a long time that we have a Spider-Man film that's dedicated to him, and it feels like Spider-Man. It feels like
so
a comic
true.
book, man.
That's so cool.
And it's colorful. It's like really action-packed, really dramatic. Like it's fun. It's funny, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Tom Holland, man.
Tom Holland. I've never appreciated this guy more lately. Between seeing him in that and the Odyssey, I'm just insanely stunned by all this.
Like, yeah, God, what a career and what a legacy this kid has.
He's lost a lot of mystique value. He's a great, one of a kind.
From the week before, I've seen the Odyssey, and it just blowing the box office and reviews out of the water, and Brand New Day just even doubling it. It's like that's insane.
It's insane. What a mark.
Yeah, and I did like him in the Odyssey.
I did.
I think I saw some people who didn't like him in the Odyssey for some reason, but I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I've heard it's challenging some people, but it's like all the same. It's like very, very rewarding, and I find that like the way that Nolan does ensemble cast, he's very organic about it. I feel like he really. I felt every actor there was phenomenal. Personally, every arc was really so much.
Yeah, I agree.
The last fight, but yeah, on Brand New Day though, it's like, man, he is just such a great character as Spider-Man, and I've not read the comics, so I feel like I've really got the first big time dose of it from that movie, and I feel like I got a whole new perception of Spider-Man than I ever knew before, and it resembles the most of watching you play the games. It reminds me a lot of that atmosphere.
It did feel like the game come to life. Like really, the opening of the movie is so it does such a great recap of like Spider-Man over the last few years that they do it through literally like pages of the comic book reenactment of like pages to the video game. And like there's like one particular moment where he swings on the rooftop and just starts beating up all these bad guys. And dude, literally that's right from the game. I mean, it looks like all of it. It's so good.
It's brilliant.
And yeah, it just felt very Peter Parker, and it felt very Spider-Man, and it was just like felt modern, felt really great. A lot of great pacing and
Absolutely.
characters,
The
and
best
I just
characters and
thought it was
pacing.
like really, really welcoming and inviting, especially, and it also just shows like everybody shows up for Spider-Man.
Everybody.
Like, superhero movies, like, say what you will about them, but everybody loves Spider-Man. And
Yep.
it's just like proof right there and throughout the whole box office thing that it just did, you know.
He makes an impact whenever he happens. Yeah, and Spider-Man did it just so brilliantly here. And I thought director Destin Daniel Cretton, I mostly knew him from a film Short Term 12. He did that back in 2013. It's a totally different kind of film. Just kind of like raising raising like in a homeless shelter basically, and working at one, being a part of one and all that. But then it's just like, wow, to see him evolve to that. I think what that movie showed is, wow, this guy's he wears a big heart on his sleeve in the way he tells his stories. And I thought that perfectly shined in this Spider-Man. I think this is like my favorite thing he did for that.
Yeah.
Because he really put his heart and soul into making it. I felt like in a really great way. Like every scene had spectacle to it. It had a sense of wonder about it. Almost sort of an uplifting kind of feel to it, despite its dark moments and dark elements. It ultimately kind of walked out. I felt pretty optimistic from the way the whole movie felt.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it did a great job of just kind of him. You want to fight with Spider-Man to try to figure it out and stuff, but it is very wholesome in ways. I mean, honestly, like, the theme of the movie really is kind of, you can't be alone, you just can't do it all on your own, so understanding the love and the friendship value, emotions you have with other people makes the best version of you, and I think that's what the message was for Spider-Man in this, which is like really cool. It just shows that like we can all relate to that, even if he's a superhero. And I think he directed the Shang-Chi movie.
He did, yes.
Yes.
That's what he's previously most famous for. I just noticed, and I really want to see that now.
It's pretty good. I really like the Shang-Chi movie. I might be saying that wrong now, but I don't know. But I thought he did a great job in or that movie in general. It's just a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun, and action sequences are great. So I'd be really curious to see how you feel about.
I'm getting to that one because I got a massive list I've written out over that, and I think that might have really kickstarted something of a fresh appreciation of the superhero genre in general. Just seeing how much fresh filmmaking there really is on it. I think a lot of classic film energy is going into a lot of these projects now, and it's just all the better than ever for it. And I think this was already happening in the 2010s range, like looking at the Russo brothers stuff particularly. Yeah. I'll get more into that a little later, but like for now, and just to keep on Brand New Day, it's just wow. I thought that really left a positive influence on just recognizing the brilliance of superhero filmmaking. Because that movie felt raw. Like I think I like rawness and grittiness in filmmaking, and I really felt also just very gritty, and like it had a very true to life kind of feeling to it. That it was very inviting because it just felt like it felt like anyone could relate to it to a degree. And I think it was just brilliantly universal all around how it got there.
Yeah, I agree, man. So
that was a masterpiece.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So I was trying to, after we got through there, and it took me, after I sat with it for a few days, I've been trying to think of my Spider-Man ranking.
I haven't even settled.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is still my all-time number one.
Most attachment.
And I was just trying to debate if Brand New Day was number 2 or number 3 now, because Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi.
That's literally the wrestle.
It's just like,
I kind of can't settle.
I can't settle either.
The first one has so much meaning, but this one also has an equal amount of meaning, man. I'm feeling a connection.
There's almost like a modern sense of meaning to Brand New Day, but something about me is just still like torn about the first Spider-Man movie and what it means to me as well.
Exactly.
Like just the time capsule.
The first one's more personal, and it's kind of like, again, 24 years ago. It was just such a personal time of like development of youth, and I think that movie was just such a time capsule for that, especially growing up through that. So I think having that in our hearts is just such a big value and so personal to, I think, the perception of Spider-Man as we've seen it evolve.
Right.
That movie's so groundbreaking.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. There's just something about it where I'm like, I can't decide. Like there was one day I was like, I think Brand New Day takes my number 2 because it's so modern. It makes the most sense. Like,
it is the most modern
sense of like
it evolved it perfectly modern.
Like, because who Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man, and the action sequences and the swinging, everything, New York. I mean, it looks so good. It looks so good in Sam Raimi's. And it just feels cozy. It feels it feels great. Obviously, Tobey Maguire is just still my number 1 time favorite. But this one where it's just like, okay, but if you watch Spider-Man in the cartoons, if you read the comic books and stuff like that, Brand New Day is probably the most accurate, and which is still equally as exciting because it's like, well, if I really want a good sense of what Spider-Man should actually look like on screen, that's a great representation.
Yeah.
But it's there's just kind of weirdly it's still, I don't know, I'm just still battling.
Yeah, I think what you observed about it earlier is perfect when you say that it kind of has this universal tone of like, the person can't do this alone. And I think that Brandon Day really got that across particularly. Maybe I'm learning that the comics might have had more of that of like, well, it's he's doing it, like you kind of, you need the people around you to kind of get to where you are. And maybe the first Spider-Man by contrast was very introverted. I think a lot of like Robert De Niro kind of acting in that movie. Like, reminds you of Taxi Driver tone even a little bit.
Solo.
It's very introverted. Yeah, like he's a loner. Like, he's kind of pretty lonely.
Because even at the end, it ends very somber.
It is very somber. Like, I've seen the loneliness in that movie more than ever, and I think it reveals that perfectly. I would say Brand New Day is a lot more of like, you're kind of bringing everyone along kind of thing. That's a bigger cast. There's just more elements of including everybody in Brand New Day.
True. So either way, man, I'm just happy that we got a great Spider-Man film, man, and the future is exciting for Spider-Man.
It is. I cannot wait to see where the road goes next for that journey. So that was a masterpiece, brother. And I think seeing that in theaters, that's one of the best theatrical viewings I've ever had.
Yeah,
I think that really holds up as a perfect one.
I'm with you.
Just a perfect time, perfect setting
that we went with,
perfect group setting. Like it all rolled wonderfully.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. Really recommend that to anybody.
Yeah,
it's universal appeal.
You want me to keep going through
Dude,
the list?
Please.
Just kind of
right ahead, man. Yeah, I say so.
All right, because I feel like, we between the both of us, we got a lot of movies.
There'll be a lot of movies. I think we can ride on movies.
So sit back and relax, y'all. We've got to come in. So after Spider-Man Brand New Day, I had kind of randomly checked out a rewatch of Billy Wilder's Ace in the Hole.
Oh my gosh! Now,
yeah, dude, I don't know what came over me, man. I was just like, these last 2 weeks or 3 weeks have been kind of, somewhat exhausting in a sense because of getting things ready for school and working. Like, work has been intense and just a lot of life stuff, man. Just focusing on the next day and the family and things like that. And there's a few late nights here and there with kiddo, and it was just one of these things where I got done with bedtime and food, and it was kind of late. It was like 10, and it's, I'm trying to crash by 11:30, 12, so I can get up for the morning. And I was like, well, I want to watch something, but I just have it in me. I'm feeling something old timey. I want something classic, black and white. It's got to be, simpler times here, something that's cozy. And I went on Pluto TV and I saw Ace in the Hole, and I was like, I don't know. I just was like, let me just check this out again. It's because the first time I watched it, I was kind of polarized. I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this movie.
It's weird. It's weird for its time.
Yeah. And at the time, I guess it's now probably 22, at least 3 years since I've seen it. I had watched Some Like It Hot and Sunset Boulevard, which I was blown away by both of those
pieces.
So watching Ace in the Hole and kind of feeling a little let down a little bit was kind of deterring. So anyways, I checked it out again. I just put it on blind. I just didn't even think about it. I was like, let me just put it on. And dude, I will tell you, I was instantly hooked in that movie like no other. Like, I was like, man. First 10 minutes, I'm sitting here like, God, I don't know if I'm going to go to bed tonight. I just want to watch
Kirk Douglas' showcase in that.
He really did. He really just rocked my socks.
Puts on a show.
And he's such kind of like a
over the top,
charismatic, over the top character.
Yeah,
that's got such a hard edge on him.
Yeah,
it's kind of fascinating to watch.
He's very fascinating. He's unforgettable.
The whole setup of the movie, it just hooked me, and I was really in it. I think I watched an hour of it, and then I called it and went to bed, and I picked it up the next day.
Man.
And I even watching it from there, finishing it off, I was like, damn. I was like, I really gave this a bad rap the first time. This is actually a masterpiece of a movie. It's so good. I'm like, wow, that was so good. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
He's an extremely bizarre character, and I think that's a lot of it, man, right there. Because it is insane to follow him like the whole time, like someone like that. But yet, when you're in it, somehow it's just completely entertaining, and it's just a brilliant screenplay. It kind of just tying a lot of themes around all of it.
Yes, absolutely. And I just think the whole spectacle of the tragedy that's happening is like such a it's a grand epic, man.
It is
As far
epic.
as
The
like
shots are
being
amazing.
able to tell the story back in what was it,
51.
1951? Yeah, I mean it's just like whoa, man, this thing blows my mind. Just and
Seriously.
it's kind of a yeah, just like just a kind of a selfish guy. Pinocchio stringing the whole thing along until
Gonna.
it's too late, and then he can't backtrack out of
Yeah,
it.
he's
He
too
goes
late.
too deep, man.
He
And
literally digs deep into a hole, man.
by
With it.
the end of it, he just kind of offers himself as the last like piece of, what's the last thing he can do, maybe. But yeah, it was really good, man. I thoroughly enjoyed
Oh
watching
man,
it.
that's so exciting, man! Because I think rewatching movies like that will just always reveal so much detail when you watch it. And you'll find like a fresh entertainment value that somehow, and I get that way with a lot. Sometimes it's like, how did I not see it the first time? But usually, sometimes
Right.
movies like that are actually mind bending. Like it's like, well, that's actually insane to take it in itself. What Wilder was onto with that one, which is just a really reveal. I think just the comfortable shades of like someone who's really like, I guess you could say a psychopath in his own right. Like you could say like you're on the comfortable shades of that. And movies like that are very ahead of their time. They're very daring to go for
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like Sunset Boulevard, Some Like It Hot, you're kind of, I'd say more particularly Sunset Boulevard, you're very much detached from all that. And you're kind of like on like a stable side of it all as well. But I think Ace in the Hole, you don't get that stable side to it. You're just in psychopathy, basically.
It's true. Like Sunset Boulevard, you're backtracking the whole story because he tells right in the beginning. He's like, "That's me dead," and it's just like you're like, "How do we get here?" You're kind of watching, and it's kind of being narrated too. So there's a little bit of almost like an abstract sense of it all, of the whole thing. You're following the guy, but you're seeing a lot out of it. But with Ace in the Hole, it's just you're just right with him the whole time in the moment, and just the more he digs, the more we're digging.
Yeah, if you're
Like,
digging it
that
right
scene
with
that
him.
got me the most was when he's sitting at that table with the sheriff, and he's like, "You tell me." He's like, "You're not gonna tell them, or you're not gonna do anything unless you want your votes again. I'll make sure you're reelected." And then like the guy, he's like, "All right, I'll help you out with whatever." But then like the construction guy, the digger, comes down, and he's like, "Tell me, how's it gonna be?" And he's like, "Well, 12 hours, at least like 16 hours, maybe 12 if we hurry, if we just do this." He's like, "Nah, you're gonna dig a hole right from the top." He's like, "But why?" He's like, "Dude, he's basically just like, we can't do that." He's like, "How long will it take?" He's like, 6 or 7 days. He's like, "That's enough." And he's like, "But that's not necessary." And the sheriff's literally like, if he's like, "If you want to go back to being a truck driver after this, you're not gonna do what I say." It's crazy. It's crazy.
So wicked sense of humor.
Oh man, like dude, it's just like the corruption. He's like, man, when he says it, I can't imagine a man in there for 6 or 7 days. He's like,
Oh my god.
I mean, that just hits you.
He just does all that. He's just, all right, I'm profiting out of this, is how he's seeing it.
Oh man, he's so
He
intense.
literally throws a carnival.
Yeah,
And
really
he's so
does.
intense. He's in the way
Talking to the papers, trying to make deals of like the inside scoop of the 40. It's crazy. It's just fucking crazy.
fucking
So,
crazy.
really, really, really great movie. I recommend any Billy Wilder to anybody. But Ace in the Hole is
It's a unique one in his filmography.
really a unique one for sure. I'm like eager to watch that one again.
Me too. Now we're talking about, I'm like, I can already just see some of these scenes because like, well, I'm itching for a rewatch. Like looking at
It's
it.
a great. I feel like it's almost a great late night watch.
It is.
It's kind of just you gotta get locked into that world.
Somehow
and
raw
timeless feel.
psychopathy is good at late at night.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Ace in the Hole, man. I enjoyed that. And Billy Wilder. I still need to watch a few of his movies, but the next rewatch I want to do of his is Double Indemnity. for
Absolutely. That's one of his absolute best.
Yeah.
That's just some of the best writing and just the best suspense value I think he's
I
ever
saw that for the
conveyed.
first time at your place.
I remember, man. I remember because I think I was in the middle of watching it. I was like, I'm watching this again and again. Like I was like, I think I watched it like a handful of times after that because it jolts so much energy. Right on.
So we ended up checking out a rewatch of the first Jurassic Park.
Man, oh,
And
one of the
my God, dude,
masterpieces.
what a perfect movie on that front too.
It is.
It's a timeless film. Steven Spielberg at his best. Dinosaurs. What more can you want? It just tells the story so well done, and it's timeless. And I'm rewatching it. I'm like, dude, I'm getting nostalgic flashbacks of watching this so much as a kid.
Same.
And I remember being
thinking about it.
scared of this movie as a kid. Man, there's a lot of scenes in that movie that kind of frightened me, and it just does such a great job of telling it. I don't know, man. It's just
It's a
a fun
masterpiece.
movie. It's a masterpiece on its own.
Masterpiece of pacing, world building. Like the
Mhm.
characters are, it's so well paced because you get first. It's such a build up to it. Because I think about the first hour is just the
Yeah.
characters being introduced to all this, and then second half is when all the monster shit happens, and
Yeah.
it's explosive whenever it happens. It's terrifying.
It really is.
Very haunting.
Yeah. Made me want to rewatch all the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
with you.
I've seen 3 a lot. I kind of want to rewatch The Lost World again. I
I don't really like
rewatched
that
it a
one.
few years ago.
I quite know though, and I think I'll love that better on a rewatch
Yeah.
actually, because it all really holds up.
Spielberg directed that one.
Sure
too.
did.
He didn't direct the third
I
one.
don't believe so.
Yeah.
And I believe he just did 1 and 2. Double
Yeah.
check to be absolutely sure.
So I want to rewatch the second one now. And then I do still want to go through and watch the whole trilogy of the Jurassic World.
I've never seen any of those.
Yeah,
I want
one with
to.
Chris Pratt, and then they just did another one, like Gareth Edwards, I believe, directed.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
like Jurassic Park Rebirth or Jurassic World Rebirth or something.
Jeez,
like that.
they've expanded so
Scarlett
much.
Johansson is in that one.
That's wild.
Mhm.
Right on.
But I want to see all those. But I mean, yeah, you just can't really beat that first one, man. It's
No,
just
the first one's the
timeless.
all-time
So
classic.
good.
It's just and it just seems like Steven Spielberg is just right on his game. Like I was like
Yeah.
kind of like post Jaws, but like it's on that similar kind of just brilliant pacing because it's such a slow burner. I mean,
It
you really
is.
take the details in. You really get to know everybody personally.
Yeah.
And whenever shit happens, it's like wow, it's really haunting in its
Yeah.
own kind of way. It's so much.
And speaking of Steven Spielberg, I know I've said it before on this podcast a few times, but I know I know I've said it to a lot of friends, but I did not like Disclosure Day.
Hey, I go.
But I
with that.
didn't not like Steven Spielberg. Because I think he has done amazing films, and Jurassic Park was a reminder of that like
That's his golden
magic,
phases.
of that magic of Spielberg, you know. And I'm still not the only one who did not like Disclosure Day. I was
Most
just on
people
the
don't.
Reddit thread about worst movie of 2026, and a lot of people were commenting that they did not like Disclosure Day. So I don't know. I just think it's funny.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
I don't know because like
I gotta-
I just think
yeah.
Spielberg. It's like I had the same feelings I'm reading on Spielberg's game with Disclosure Day versus like the public reception on it, and I don't want to get more into all that because it doesn't matter. I just think it's funny because I still do love Spielberg. Like Spielberg, Jurassic Park was just that great reminder of like, man, I still want to watch more Spielberg films. Like
Yeah, it's got the
So-
Spielberg charm to it, but it's
Yeah.
a totally different skewed way of his way.
Absolutely. So yeah, enough said about Jurassic Park. It's kind of speaks for itself on a lot of fronts.
Seriously, a masterpiece.
So Wendy found another obscure movie from the 90s. She always finds these like little weird hidden
Seriously,
gems,
she's recommended so many I've ended up loving.
Yeah, and I've loved a lot of them too. And this one was fine. It's fun. But she recommended this. It's 1997. Film called Excess Baggage.
Man, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I never heard of it either. It stars Benicio del Toro.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's all I
and,
need to hear.
Alicia Silverstone.
That's
Christopher
man,
Walken.
That's I really want to see that.
It's a really, really quirky movie. It's directed by Marco Brambilla, maybe.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, looks like Demolition Man.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, not really. I don't think I've seen a lot of these movies, but anyways, it's a quirky movie. Basically, Alicia Silverstone is like trying to fake her own kidnapping for a ransom money from her father because she's just trying to get away and just do all the stuff and whatnot. Christopher Walken plays her uncle, and it's kind of like a whole thing. It's like a crime within a family crime,
Sounds insane.
Yeah, but Benicio del Toro is his own kind of criminal. He's on his own. He's doing his own thing, and he's like boosting cars and whatnot. And she locks herself up in the trunk and stages the police to go like find this car, so she can kind of execute the rest of her plan. But what happens is Benicio del Toro steals the car that she's locked herself up in without him knowing that she's in it, and then it just ends up becoming this huge manhunt for the both of them because now he's wanted as a criminal, and also this money is involved and all this stuff. So they're both like being like hunted by the police and the family.
I can imagine the chemistry.
And it's just kind of quirky because like it sounds serious, but they're really just like they're like bickering the whole time and they're just being like kind of crazy and whatnot. And the whole thing's just kind of a little camp charm value to it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's so interesting because like I've never seen I never heard of that movie, and Benicio del Toro is like so young in it, and he looks
man.
just like Brad Pitt.
Really,
He
it's
looks
so
just like
almost
Brad
the
Pitt.
exact same kind of like atmosphere you get out of
Absolutely
those two.
insane. So
It's insane.
that alone was kind of really fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a blast. I seriously want to see that.
Yeah,
It's a
check it out.
great
I'm
cast.
curious to hear what you think. I gave it like a 3.5 just because it is what it's a fun
Yeah,
experience.
I love Benicio del Toro for all those reasons. Let's just
Yeah.
Silverstone. I recently watched Clueless for the first time, and I absolutely loved that.
I don't
So,
know if I've seen Clueless.
oh, it's so funny. It's just
Yeah?
basically she's just kind of this crazy person in school, basically, just
Okay.
meeting with all kinds of characters. Just it's really got a random kind of late mid-90s sense of humor, but
Nice.
it's just all in the writing. It's consistently hilarious.
Yeah.
It is just it hits so many comedic beats. That's kind of just a collision of comedy.
Yeah.
Worth checking out.
I feel like Wendy's seen that movie. Yeah, that's cool, man. I was trying to think of anything else that she's been in that I.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really know her
Yeah.
from personally.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that. That just sounds offbeat and really 90s and
Yeah,
kind of like fun crime comedy type.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
It's cool checking out for sure.
Sounds cool.
I recommend it. So then we watched another throwback in the 90s, and this one was just as charming and memorable as watching as a kid, which is Men in Black.
Man, I've been so excited to hear you take on that rewatch.
Yeah, dude. And that, it was just another kind of random watch. Wendy, wanted to check it out again, and she loves Will Smith, so it's just like. So I was like, yeah, let's watch it. Let's put it on. And man, that movie timeless again. Charming and fun and funny, and Will Smith kind of at peak, like Tommy Lee Jones is great in it. And Vincent D'Onofrio, I hate to say his name.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. He, dude, he's like, it's kind of crazy. Every time I see him pop up on any movie, I always go, "That's Kingpin." I'm like,
see that.
Oh, that's Kingpin. But he looks so different in a lot of his early work, and in a lot of his roles actually. But he's absolutely gross in this.
I
movie.
remember that. Like all the bar
like,
aesthetic with them.
Yeah, he's absolutely gross in this movie, and like he just does a great job, and it's a fun, cool movie, dude. It's just a cool movie. Yeah, I don't know.
That's awesome. I really can't wait to see that.
Brought me back to nostalgia.
That's brilliant, man. I'm with you, dude. Because that's when I really grew up on. Because when I was about 4 or 5, I was one of those movies along with like the first Toy Story. I would watch it like every day after school for like it was like every day for about a good year or two span. I was really obsessed with that movie, and I hardly remember why. I think I was particularly captivated by Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones' chemistry. Simply, I would just rewatch Will Smith's character beats. I was like, dude, he's just seems like such a brilliant presence all throughout. So I need to rewatch that now. Because it's funny is even though I've watched it that many times, I hardly remember much about it. It's just kind of a loud, subconscious kind of like noise.
I feel like as soon as you start watching it, you'll remember everything.
It'll hit all at once. Exactly. It almost feels like describing TV land in a way. It's like it's a hazy, but I think when I'm there, it'll all hit me. I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, because that's how I feel.
That's the movie magic.
Like older movies, like that I know I watched a lot as a kid, but kind of don't really remember too much about it. Like I did that with Remember the Titans recently.
Dude, I
watched it so much
that
in school growing up, and like on Disney or wherever it was, and then I kind of forgot a lot about it. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this movie is I'm like, I remember this scene. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
what happens? It's like, but yeah, it was.
Sometimes you appreciate that stuff better than ever with age. Like sometimes that stuff ages better. Like I rewatched that one. Yeah, and I was in school. They showed that a lot for me too, and I always thought it was just okay. I don't think I seriously tuned into it to an extent.
Yeah,
there's a handful
of
movies.
Hard to tune in for me too. Man.
Yeah,
nope. It's hard to watch like. I don't know. I think movies back then for me also was like I was entertained more by different genres and stuff too.
Yeah, because you want particular things at that age. I think a little more, and I think now I'm a little more like, all right, just bring on anything kind of feeling.
Did you watch that recently?
I did. Yeah, I did about a month or two ago. I loved it, man. I thought it hit all the right notes because I think I just appreciate Denzel Washington's acting so much, and that was a seriously great performance from him. Like just very inspiring, kind of unique sort of guy all around that he plays in that. It reminded me a lot of like why I love movies like Coach Carter, where it's just
absolutely
kind of just a guy just shaping up this team, and like all the characters are really phenomenal. I really enjoyed everybody in that. That was so cool to see like Ryan Gosling in that also. I didn't know who he was at the time I first saw it, but I thought that held up great. One of Disney's just many great kind of sport athletic type movies. Inspirational in its own way.
Yeah, that definitely held up. But Men in Black it did the same thing, man. It really it just holds up ahead of its time. It's still like the CGI really isn't that bad. It feels appropriate, and I just think they do a great job with the chemistry and the storytelling in that, and the pacing is really good, and it's just a fun time all around.
Awesome. I'm so excited to rewatch
Yeah,
that.
definitely
that
recommend.
that sounds amazing.
And Spielberg produced it,
That's right. He sure
and
did.
Amblin
Amblin.
Productions,
Yeah,
or
that's right.
yeah,
So it's
but
directed by
yeah,
Barry Sonderfeld.
yep,
Yeah,
Barry
that's right.
Sonnenfeld. Which I won't get into too much because I didn't log it on Letterboxd or anything, but I did. We did try watching Men in Black 2,
Man,
and
it's
because
just
I was just so curious, I was like, oh man, I was like, I don't remember anything about 2, like I really don't. And we watched it, and eh,
it's
it's
just
just not.
okay.
It's just okay. It's
It's
really not that fun.
that's too bad. It doesn't hold up at all. It sounds
Pacing
like
is bad.
yeah,
It's like
kind of a
it
mess.
takes way too long to introduce Tommy Lee Jones again, and get them back to how they were supposed to be. But then by the time they do that, if the whole plot kind of feels rushed, and it's got like little charming moments, like where they're trying to be like Will Smith, of course, is those charming moments, but it just kind of feels flat all around, and it just kind of feels like it's trying too hard in a sense. And Johnny Knoxville's in it too.
That's
I
right. I
forgot.
remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that
forgot
was
all about
random.
that. Yeah,
I think
Johnny
that's how I first
Knoxville.
heard about him because I saw that when I was like 8. I was like right, literally the year I was first getting into movies, like Spider-Man and all that was out. And
Yeah.
even then I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, I don't remember. I really didn't remember anything about it, but I was kind of like, okay,
I just
it
thought it
was
was
kind
by
of a chore. It was the same director.
I
music, and
know. It's just sometimes lightning doesn't strike twice.
exactly. It's kind of like, okay, well, where do you go for a sequel?
Yeah, it just didn't really have a place for a
It just felt
sequel.
like it was a forced.
A lot of those movies are like that. It's like they'll be masterpieces when you do it once, but it's like if you try to have any more ideas, maybe it reveals that a lot of it was just kind of knowing what you knew in the first one. When they reveal more like details, it sometimes that doesn't really benefit the
Yeah,
overall impact
less
of
is
the
more
world.
sometimes, man.
Less is more. Yes, and
Um,
that's a great case right there.
But I don't remember anything about 3. I mean, I remember seeing it in theaters, but I don't really remember except for the time travel stuff with 3. And I don't know if it holds up either, or if it's better than 2 at least.
I'll be really curious. I certainly would imagine it'd be better than 2, simply for the entertainment value of a time travel
Yeah,
concept. I remember seeing that in theaters and really loving that one a
yeah,
lot. I only seen it once, but I remember thinking that time travel stuff was a blast, and I thought the chemistry was on because they go back to the '60s, and it really painted the picture very well.
that's
So
cool.
I thought that'd be cool
I'm
to see
gonna
again.
plan on checking out the third one just because I'm curious.
I'd be
Now
extremely
that I've seen
curious to
the
hear how that
second
holds
one.
up.
Um,
I don't know memory really loves it, but I really
yeah,
would need to see it again
absolutely.
to have a modern take.
Then they did another spin-off Men in Black recently, a few years, well, maybe 10 years ago now, with Chris Hemsworth.
Really, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
on like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like Men in Black something, and but Chris Hemsworth and I think I can't remember her name, but yeah, it's like they have a movie. I'm pretty sure that one flopped pretty bad, but yeah, Will Smith, man, he just had that kind of upcoming, in the late '90s, all throughout the '90s, of course, but like Independence Day and then Men in Black and Wild Wild West and just like all these
I
crazy
know
movies.
he's just doing so many things. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
'90s he was that was like his era right there.
I like Tommy Lee Jones too.
I do
Like,
too. I'm a
yeah.
huge fan of him. He's always been a great one. I just absolutely love his stuff in No Country for Old Men. So it's like to go back to that. It's like there's a whole other era of
Yeah.
brilliance.
Oh, Men in Black International.
Yeah, I don't
got,
know about that.
Yeah, it's got Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. And I don't know. Are they gonna do a Men in Black 5? We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty. So I watched Men in Black. I've got a couple more here. One being you had a revisit of, which was a fun hang, and just I know we were talking about it because I think the superhero bug is kind of back around. Vengeance Day on the way, and I'm kind of really into watching some of these movies now.
Say, I really got the bug.
And I know we were talking about it. You were interested in checking out. So we revisit the very first Iron Man,
Oh man,
which kicks off the whole MCU. Jon Favreau directed it. The resurgence of Robert Downey Jr. And yeah, it's just kind of we were like, let's just hang out and watch Iron Man and see what happens, I guess. So What did you think?
I thought it was a blast,
It was-
man.
it
I
was fun.
rewatching it. It was just an extremely entertaining, fun time, and I've always associated that movie as just like that hits a real sweet spot. I think on
Yeah.
rewatching it, and I think seeing it many years later, I just really love how like you just kind of introduced like the origin story of Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. wonderfully portrays this comeback while there's just kind of explores a lot of like environmental issues, just like kind of like really like offbeat kind of imagery, which feels very like distinctive to the late 2000s.
Yeah.
And it felt like such a time capsule of that era.
Absolutely.
I think it just rings as a personal favorite. I thought it had Jon Favreau's just kind of wondrous kind of way of looking at things done really well for a superhero movie. It may just like one of those movies that's just it's very entertaining. I don't know if it hits like kind of this level of personal marks that the Spider-Man movies do, but I think it's just it's its own kind of world all around. I really enjoy I just enjoy Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback in that so much.
Yeah, me too.
It's a really inspiring kind of feeling that it has to it because of that.
Yeah, I think
I appreciate it a lot better now than ever.
Absolutely. I think there's like a lot of factors to the movie that makes it like a fun, great movie. And a lot of it is like Iron Man, seeing Iron Man in general as a live action. That's pretty cool. I don't think I would have ever thought of that as a kid. I would see an Iron Man movie. Jon Favreau's directing and Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic, and of course, what Downey is like. We talked about it while we were watching. It feels almost a little extra special because this is like his really like revival in his acting career, I think. And
Yeah.
Tony Stark kind of goes through this huge change in the movie where he's kind of like this rich, selfish guy, and he's an asshole, and all this stuff, and then this big traumatic thing happens, and he turns into like he's looking out for the world. He wants to do better. He wants to be a better person, and he wants to help the world, and he's just kind of confused on some things, and he's just like tries to strive for more. So, he creates Iron Man and fights for that, and you just feel like he's really come on the other side. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. kind of put that energy like this is all or nothing for me because I really have this troubled past and I want to make this the most. I mean, he really, really lives and breathes Tony Stark in that movie, I think.
Yeah, he put himself into it.
And he's kind of really like a Tony Stark in real life.
He really
It's
is.
kind of crazy. Like,
Actually, it's surreal. It's like he is that guy.
Yeah, so
He embodies it so much.
so that was cool, and like you said, the time capsule stuff with like it being out in like
2008.
it's like Iraq or wherever it's at, and like the desert feeling and like the terrorist feel, like that's all like relevant stuff that was happening in 2008. And,
Yeah.
a lot of that imagery we were seeing more common back then. I feel like we don't see that as common now. Terrorism and like bad guy and like weird shit going on in the world is kind of portrayed very vastly differently now and more not as mainstream like that. So seeing it like being like a good chunk of the movie of just kind of that feel was like definitely time capsule kind of feeling of the time or the film. And overall, it kicks off the MCU, which is really fun. That Avengers tease at the end, and like just knowing like there's what came after that, is so cool and whatnot. And it's just a fun film, but it does feel like you can tell Marvel didn't have all the production they have now.
Yeah, you can tell it's a blueprint.
You can tell it's kind of a blueprint.
Evolution.
You can tell it's kind of grounded in a sense, and like there's just kind of like almost like a grittiness, roughness to the whole thing.
It is, yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's really not like a groundbreaking masterpiece of it.
Wouldn't that go that far?
It's kind of fun for what it is, and there's nothing really spectacular about it. But I think I have more respect about it than anything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like a respect place because I just find I feel like I've seen it like once a decade, quite literally, and I go, it does hit great in that time. It's like it is extraordinarily entertaining, and I think that's first and foremost where it gets the point marks. It's just how fun it is to take in everything about it.
I feel like the next time I'll ever watch that movie again is when like Augie's older and he wants to he starts seeing all the whole MCU stuff and he wants to start from the beginning. I'm like, well, let's check out Iron Man.
It's absolutely worth watching at least once. It's essential
but it's like
that.
I said, like almost like once maybe 8-9 years.
Yeah,
like that.
that's how it's true.
I really haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, because I saw it in theaters once. I saw it once in 2010, and then that was my third viewing right there. So
I've seen it maybe 3, maybe 4 times, but that was either my third or fourth time seeing it too. So, but yeah, it's but you haven't seen 2 or 3.
I've not. I was gonna say I'm very compelled to see it in time. I'm interested.
Now it got me curious about rewatching it.
Yeah, I also just want to see it seems like they got really interesting actors to portray the villains in both of those. Mickey Rourke and I'm trying to remember the third one was.
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce, that's right. Yeah. I'm very compelled by that particularly.
So I will say this: Iron Man 2 it's interesting. There's a really cool, interesting dynamic in it because of Mickey Rourke in it. And Tony Stark's character. It's cool because like it centers on Tony Stark. You know, like after if you forget the Iron Man movies, we're kind of used to seeing Tony Stark play with a bunch of characters. You know, he's with Chris Evans, he's with the Avengers, he's with all these other characters in other movies. You know, so seeing his own solo stuff is kind of interesting. And Iron Man 2 coming right back to the perspective of Tony Stark is kind of cool because he kind of goes through this uh big character arc that he goes through in the comics, which is like he's kind of a sloppy drunk and he's kind of just partying all the time and he's balancing it. So he's going through an internal conflict, and then Mickey Rourke comes around, just wrecks everything, and then it becomes this whole thing. And Don Cheadle is now replaced. He's replaced
Terrence
Terrence
Howard.
Howard.
Yeah, oh man,
And so
that's
he's
so
the same
crazy.
character, but he's just it's a recast. And Don Cheadle plays him now, and he suits up as War Machine in that movie too. So it elevates a little bit, but I can't remember. I just remember feeling it's okay and the pacing's okay, and it's but in my opinion, um, after watching Iron Man 3, I thought that was the best out of all of them. And I've only seen Iron Man 3 once. Shane Black directed it. I'm pretty sure it came out like 2018 or 17, something like that.
Yeah, I totally missed the mark on that
Yeah,
one.
it was before Avengers Infinity War and all that. But I thought it did a great job, and it really just it kind of throws Tony Stark through a big loop, and there's just like a lot more personal stakes to it, I guess. And Guy Pearce is the villain, and it's I feel like there's some psychological elements to it and whatnot. But I enjoyed it. I thought Iron Man 3 did a great job. So I have to rewatch it though to see how I still feel about the whole
I'm
trilogy.
very intrigued to see those. That all sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll be curious to see how it is, how they
yeah.
are.
So,
That's cool.
but yeah, we got to keep watching some Marvel films, man.
I've written down a massive list. There's so many I need to see and rewatch. It's
I
crazy.
really, really want to revisit Doctor Strange
I
Multiverse of
cannot wait to
Madness.
rewatch that. I've seen that once, and I think that's like one of the most visually stunning things they've ever done.
Absolutely.
So I would love to take in those details more. That would be great. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see stuff like Black Panther. I've never seen that.
So good, Ryan Coogler.
That's
It's so
awesome.
good.
And Ryan Coogler, building up to what Sinners. I'm a huge fan of Sinners, so
Yeah.
that'll be perfect to rewatch.
Yeah.
And also, I've just got a lot of mystique value generated towards Infinity Wars. I've seen that one once, and that's just such a massive movie that like requires multiple viewings. There's no way.
I think so, but at the same time, it is so damn well
It's a
paced,
damn masterpiece.
so well directed, and balances all these characters. It's almost like one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you watch all the films beforehand, you'll get a much more personal viewing to it.
Yeah.
Because you've been through
I need to
a
do
lot
that.
with these characters.
Yeah.
But even if you haven't, you don't really need to know too much besides what's going on in those moments, because it's like you're like, yeah, who's this guy showing up? You know, why is Guardians of the Galaxy hanging out with Doctor Strange,
Right.
whatever, you know, and Iron Man?
This
Like,
bound-
how's this get here? But it's at the same time, it's like, damn, Thanos is like just kicking ass, and they're trying their hardest to fight, and it's like it's just a brutally well done emotional movie. It's just it's peak, dude.
Man,
It's so good.
I got full faith in the Russo brothers
Yeah.
executing that.
And Endgame is just it's a heist movie at the end of the day. It's fantastic too. I mean, they balance a lot, but somehow it just works in every way.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to check those out again.
I cannot wait to see it again. Yeah, it's memories of Lord. I just remember the masterpiece level of pacing and directing. It's in the writing on that. So I can't wait to see it again. Knowing I want to know all the characters before, so I might need a list of like who all was in that and see something that of an element they've been in.
Yeah,
then I'll go into it.
That's cool.
Really build up to it.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch another movie later.
Right on.
All right, my last film of the list here is one I watched last night. Per Wendy, and this was actually part of a screening that a local film group is doing. I think they're called Chroma Knox, and they screen art house and experimental films around Knoxville, and I think they do in different locations and whatnot. But they screened two things last night at a church nearby down the street, and I gotta tell you, the church was beautiful, man. It was like it felt. I mean, the architecture was beautiful. Like the inside was amazing. I really loved being there. And then they had like the big projector screen and up front, and everyone sat in the pews and watched the thing. But they were trying to do some social awareness stuff like police brutality and things like that. So they showed like a Criterion documentary, a short documentary about the Black Panthers in the '60s, and then they screened this movie last night called La Haine.
Man.
Yep, 1995. You've seen it, right?
I've seen it numerous times.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
it's
figured you've kind of watched. I was like,
huge fan. It was
especially
so
'cause it was a French film, I was like,
extremely powerful movie.
very, very powerful.
And
how
very
do you say his name?
elusive. Oh, yep, Matthew Kosovitz. Yes, I
Yeah.
believe that's correct.
95, dude. So I was kind of like the way the guy was talking with presenting the movie. It kind of sounded like it was gonna be like a really, really heavy watch. And I will say the themes that it's dealing with, like it did fit in like the presentation that they were doing and whatnot. There is a heaviness factor to it, but it wasn't like anything heavy that I've seen on other like Menace to Society.
Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah, exactly.
La Haine was really, really grounded, really, really just kind of felt like a hangout movie throughout the whole
Very
thing.
much.
Just a hangout movie.
It is.
And I'll say, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a French film, subtitles. I was locked in. I was really tired. Didn't really want to go out, but I'm glad I watched the film.
It's a great movie to watch when you're tired, I believe.
Yeah, it just black and white, like hangout spirit, and pretty much these three guys just kind of being boys and just being like punks and kind of being like against the system and being in France and just kind of going. It's literally, I think it only takes place in a day.
It's all in a day.
It's all in a day.
It's all in a day
so
span.
They're all just kind of getting up and going at it, and they're just bouncing around from group to group to location and getting into shit left and right, and it just kind of, wow, man, it's really cool how it's told.
It is cool. It's so inviting.
The cinematography was just so fucking good.
Oh, I know.
Enough of it.
There were so many masterpiece shots in that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I was really it brought a lot of really cool like artistic feelings to me when I watched it.
I could sense that, man. I could sense a lot of your. I've seen a lot of your like aesthetic in that movie. Honestly, I've always sensed that in a way because I mean that movie's just so great at being down to earth about getting across this powerful note. Cause you walk out, it's like, and just by the title, it's like, well, that sounds very intimidatingly powerful in no sense. But when you're in it, it feels very loose. It's very like you said, hangout in spirit, and it's just almost like maybe showing how like a small thing can boil into something massive ultimately in a lot of ways. A lot of heat in the air, and a lot of it's like the most subtle marks that really like generate the biggest like emotions in that movie in a lot of ways. Like it's a really subtle kind of movie.
Subtle. It's like just all these like because it throughout the whole movie there's like a lot of things that happen that kind of gradually build tension, gradually build like moments of intensity and things like that. And then, a few things happen where you feel like, oh shit, this is it, and they don't get to it. But, the guy, without, spoiling too much about it and talking too much about it, is like the kid basically, he's pretty hell bent on making a statement through violence.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. And he's tested on that many times, and he's very much back and forth on the whole thing, and his friends are, and the whole circle kind of ends up being like best friends and worst enemies all throughout the whole thing because they're sick of each other's shit, and there's just this, like I said, that tension in the air is really the stem of it.
It really does.
And by the end of it, there's just kind of like this big irony feeling of the whole thing, and it's it is what it is, kind of at the end of the day. It's kind of sad and bittersweet. It's bitter, or it's like a sad is what it is kind of feeling because it just happened, even though they were all ready to walk away from the whole thing.
Yeah, it happened as it was, and like their truest nature is revealed. And I think when you got boys being boys, there's that point where it's like enough's enough, you know, kind of thing. And they don't really see that until it's too late. So it's really tired.
Literally the last like few minutes where they're, like you said, enough's
enough. They're heated.
Like the dude, he like hands over the gun, and he's just like, enough's enough. Like they're all kind of ready to go on and maybe find some peace out of all that. They've been through a lot those last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just too late. It kind of comes back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow.
Dissolves that.
The
tragedy of losing the hangout spirit.
Yeah, exactly. There's a subtle tragedy to the whole thing that just kind of ends up, this hangout. With all this stuff still in the air and them kind of, it almost kind of like they manifested the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But the writing was absolutely brilliant.
Ooh.
It's so natural, and I was reading about it last night, and I loved how like they actually moved to that city for like a few months to film
That's
the whole
cool.
thing, and then a lot of it was like very natural
It felt very lived in.
scenery and people who weren't actors just kind of being in the background and doing these things and sometimes having those lines, and they just kind of had like a really guerrilla style film approach to the whole thing.
It
So
really did.
it really works. It's really cool. And I was really impressed by the whole movie, man.
So cool you've
Yeah.
seen it, man.
Yeah.
That's a great one to bring up and reflect on. And it's just a personal favorite in so many ways. That's just great aesthetic value the whole
Yeah.
film has about it. And the two films it makes me think of the most are Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. It just has a similar way of just like hang out spirit until it's not kind of feeling, but it's
Yes.
like very much a looming kind of tension behind it all. And then Train Spotting, just because I feel like a very similar kind of like hangout culture, just kind of like a lot of like rough around the edges kind of elements to it. There's a lot of intensity and unpredictability with the characters. It's like, yeah, they're all cool, they're all hanging out, and you never know when something could explode. Is what it feels like, sort of. It's like, yeah, Lahaine was just a little bit more like a intense, like kind of like loose, but ultimately a very dramatic kind of note it lands on in its own kind of way entirely.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch Train Spotting. It's been long.
Recommend it. I think it's a lot of similar notes. I feel it's like a very different way of telling it because it's very like techno music inspired. It's a lot more of a hyper energy. Well, I'd say Lahaine's very subtle, very soft, and kind of in how it portrays a lot of it. But Trainspotting feels like very hyper. It just kind of feels like you're just watching kind of like misfit characters in their 20s just kind of go about their day. You're really on the dangerous side of how they're kind of living and looking at things in a lot of ways until. Yeah, a lot of shit just hits the fan way too heavy. And it's just a lot of it. It's like kind of like it's hilarious one moment. It's like blending into a bunch of genres. Like it's really funny a moment, then it's like horrifyingly sad in some moments, and then just really really tragic in others. Really disturbing. Like a lot of emotions it's going through.
Damn.
Yeah. In a short movie, it's like 90 minutes, but it feels like it covers the universe in that time span. It's crazy.
I mean, Lahaine was, I think, 90 minutes, and it's just like they go through
covers
so
everything.
much.
And that's a more subtle take on all that. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's really subtle.
Yeah, very cool film. I haven't really watched a lot of French films. I don't even know if I've seen a French film.
Dude.
I'm sure I have, but
there's some groundbreaking
it was
ones.
just like yeah, it was pretty interesting.
I love French. French filmmaking is really interesting. So I think a lot of it was maybe like a lot of French filmmaking is the first area to really like break the rules as far as just not like for ditching the plot and just kind of hanging out with the characters the whole way through. That's like usually what a lot of the French New Wave movement's about, particularly. That feels very rooted in a lot of that because a lot of that was just about it's just about the characters just in their day-to-day lives and just kind of seeing how they are just as people. The movie's not concerned about the plot. It's not concerned about being in a rush to get to anywhere really. It just follows characters. It's almost that simple, but yet it makes it work. It makes it worth it. Yeah, and a lot of that very influential on like stuff like Taxi Driver, particularly.
Yeah, he's quoting Taxi Driver in it.
Sure is. Yeah,
because I didn't know what year the movie was. I didn't look anything about it, and then I'm like, well, he's quoting Taxi Driver. I'm like, because I was like, is this a '70s movie?
Yeah, you would think it is.
Yeah, I was like, but. And then I realized it was 95. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm realizing, dude, there's so many elements of the 90s that were just influenced by the 70s. And that's like a great case right there. That very much has it.
Feels like a 70s film.
Very much on that level of grit and just subtlety to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the characters, simply. Yeah,
absolutely.
There's not a plot really to it. It's just the characters and a theme behind it all.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's my that was my list, man. And yeah, watching it in a church last night.
That's really powerful, man. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Right on. Yeah, well, I've got a lot here to geek about here.
Let's unpack it.
Let's unpack some stuff.
Here.
Yeah. So the first one I'll bring up is what we watched on our last recording, which is Batman Returns.
Okay.
I went back and I rewatched just to nitpick it all a little closer, and I absolutely love this film. I think it's my favorite Batman movie that Burton made in every sense because the gothic tone is just perfect. Absolutely love Michael Keaton. I absolutely love Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer in it. Danny DeVito is probably my favorite part because he's just so gloomy. The whole movie has a real gloopy aesthetic about it all. And I think I really appreciated that more than ever this time around with it than I ever did growing up, even because I see the timeless essence in a lot of that. I love the movie. I love the way it's written. And it's definitely the best Batman movie of its time. I feel like before Nolan. Did his thing.
I think on a like technical story value, especially I think it's probably the best one for Nolan came through because again, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, those are kind of they feel kind of joke movies in a sense.
Yeah,
but
I've heard Forever.
Maybe Forever is actually like the one worth watching for sure. Which I do want to do a rewatch on that soon.
I really want to see that.
And I think the first Batman with Jack Nicholson is kind of just okay.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I want to
rewatch
rewatch
like
it.
too stiff or dry or something.
There is something very too much stiff about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
somehow I've never loved that one.
I know a lot of people like really adore that and like talk like that's the masterpiece. I'm like, I don't think so.
It feels like almost too far in the blueprint, like way more in a way, and it's a lot less entertaining than something like Iron Man. I think that one to me is just, it's really just kind of there to be there. I don't think it really has any big. It doesn't feel like it has a beating heart about it, like the other ones would go on to, or have as many interesting themes. It's just kind of there to simply tell a story of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like good atmosphere, but it's pretty forgettable in the storytelling.
Yeah.
Compared to the others.
But Batman Returns really does it. I think that's pretty memorable.
That one nails it. Yeah, I thought from start to finish, I was glued into it all from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's really just extremely entertaining.
Hell yeah.
And I think that was the masterpiece of all that. So that was great to revisit. And I'm sure I've talked about the movie Network on here before, but I did see a screening of that.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. I thought that was phenomenal.
I still didn't see that one.
I really recommend that one. That's a great depiction of mid-70s era. Just basically a newscast atmosphere. This guy just going completely mad, insane, basically, and then everyone kind of profiting it because it gets some viewers, basically. It's a pretty insane movie. It's all in the writing. That's a very dialogue-driven kind of movie, but it's dark and kind of reminds me a lot of like themes that Taxi Driver explores, but in a totally different kind of perspective and angle. It's really worth checking out for all that. It's like kind of one of those, I'd call it it almost seems like it'd be a comedy, but I call that more of a drama, really, in the way it does everything.
Okay.
Man, it's wonderful though how it conveys those kind of themes. Just the guy, almost like a guy with a wonderful heart, but it's like, man, he almost just kind of throws himself into the universe, basically, and it's like everyone kind of like profits from just kind of like building up a lot of rage when they see him, but the guy doesn't really know what he's doing either, kind of thing. He's almost just like an aimless prophet, you could say, in the way that all kind of portrays it. He does it for the views in a lot of ways.
Okay.
It's really insane movie.
I want to see it.
I think it's a masterpiece, that director. It's a pretty dark one, yeah, but it's worth it. I'd be really excited to get your take on all that.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Right on. Yeah, seeing that in theaters was quite a great experience. And then Primal Fear. I watched that for the first time.
Yeah,
man, I loved it from start to finish. That's one I've always wanted to see, and I think getting to see it for the first time, that was amazing, building up to like the big finale in the end, which I can't say too much there in case.
Yeah, but it's a great plot twist.
Great plot twist, man. I thought Edward Norton I think that was like his debut role. I thought it was just groundbreaking, kind of seeing all that unfold. And then I thought Richard Gere was like one of his all-time best moments. I love their dynamic. I love all the scenes of them and like the scenes in the courtroom and then how they are behind.
Like a big Law and Order episode.
Yeah, it does. That's very much what it reminds me of. It has a lot of that, and it's a very distinctively 90s kind of tone, but I found it very exciting in the filmmaking from start to finish. It seems like it's always interesting. I was always compelled by Gere's personal life, and it was more of an exciting movie than I was expecting. I thought it was all going to be on the courtroom, but it's like there's a lot of hovering around.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of things going on outside to get to the case.
Yeah, it's a really. I thought it was a remarkable thriller. I absolutely loved it. I love I think it's a very dialogue driven kind of film. Ultimately,
for sure.
Yeah, I thought every moment was interesting at revealing like character beats, and just he really leaves you guessing what the hell's going to happen next. And I'll be curious to rewatch movies like that because movies like that have that kind of twist. Usually, you catch more details on rewatches. That's what usually happens with stuff like Fight Club and the Unusual Suspects, for example. Like you just rewatch them, and it's like because of the twist, you just see something different when you rewatch it entirely. When you know the context, and that's one I would think would really be probably even better on a rewatch.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait to get into that again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then so else? I also rewatched Martin Scorsese's very first debut feature film, which is called Who's That Knocking at My Door?
Okay.
Yeah, it was made in 1967, and it's a very unique one. It's definitely like a blueprint for Scorsese, but maybe I've got massive Scorsese goggles on, but I really love this movie from start to finish. It's a great take of Harvey Keitel, just basically just trying to figure out. It's got no plot to it whatsoever. Kind of just like the French New Wave, Haine kind of feelings to it, where it's just kind of like looking at a guy, like you can tell he's from a very heated kind of background, and then he just meets this woman, and the whole movie he's just trying to figure out what the hell to do, and that's all. That's actually all it is in a sense, just kind of running around with a big question mark. But somehow the way it's told, the dialogue's always interesting, and it feels like you're just getting this great contrast of just like grit and just like kind of like a guy kind of like awakening to his like his perception on things in a lot of ways. It's a really cool movie. I would definitely recommend checking it out for just how laid back the whole thing feels. Like ultimately kind of gets to a really laid back kind of note that's kind of unique to Scorsese's filmography. I think it stands out. Like even though like a lot of his stuff, more entertaining, probably more maybe it's not the most inviting movie of all time. I think it definitely is better when you're familiar with Scorsese's films. I mean, I think you'd really get into it for just the level of just groundbreaking indie filmmaking there is to it. Like it's just you're again just following characters around in their day-to-day lives. It's really cool. note it leaves ultimately.
1968.
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, for Scorsese, he was just already on it back then. Like he was just a student and he made
That's
that.
wild.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, he was so cool in how he did that. Yeah, but then I checked out Dead Calm based on your Wendy's recommendation. Man, I loved every frame of it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting movie.
That was extremely cool, man. I thought the trio of the cast was just perfect. I think that's what really drove the whole thing. Like Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman, Billy Zane, like all three of them in that were just completely captivating.
Yeah, and it gets like tense.
It gets insanely intense. It's very suspenseful and unpredictable from start to finish. I really felt like this feeling of, wow, I really don't know where this is going next.
Him being on that other boat trying to like fix it and then like basically just kind of get stuck on it. It's just like, oh, that whole, and then she's just stuck on the other boat with him, and it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of intense moments there, and it's just, I can't believe they were able to tell that much story just in like a minimal.
I know,
it's just like on a boat in the ocean.
It's such a minimal premise, but yeah, there's just the writing and the way that it paces out the characters from a slow paced angle and the suspense value.
Yeah,
like it was all brilliantly done. I thought that one hit perfect. Yeah, start to finish, that was awesome. I love the sea atmosphere in general. Like we were saying that with the Odyssey, how that was all set in sea. Like, this is like almost like a totally like different kind of film, like very simplistic take on sea atmosphere. Oh man, it hit all the right notes. I simply loved it from start to finish.
Yeah, I'll definitely revisit that one. That was a cool movie.
That was cool. Yeah, I was just like, man, this is the nature of Billy Zane that made it so unpredictable, and then how Nicole Kidman would get around it too. It was just all so bizarre. I really was just like, where the hell is this going? Feeling. Yeah. That's almost one of those. Yeah, that's almost all I could say about that.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It simply hits on a great note. I want to spend more time watching that one. Then I watched Interstellar. Rewatched that one.
Okay.
I feel like I got a lot of fresh takes on that one. I think now that I've seen it so many times, and I think that's really a movie that was way ahead of its time. I think in a sense, I don't know. I just appreciate what it's doing more than ever now. I kind of get this feeling that it's exploring a lot of loneliness, especially in like Matthew McConaughey's character. Like, you know, it's like in the beginning, I love the Earth scenes and how slow paced it is. It's just like you get this feeling of, man, he feels like he's just kind of just not finding anything in this earth, and he literally is kind of ready to get off this planet kind of thing, to find something new for him in every sense of the word. But then it's like he gets there, there's this whole sense of melancholy of like he almost wants to be back home almost. I almost never appreciated, like, it's just such a subtle film at getting such raw emotion across, but it's a really raw kind of film in its own right. I just thought that was all brilliantly handled. And I've always been a big fan of just how like it has its take on space travel, because it's like they get in space. I just love how natural the characters seem in their elements. Like they're like going to like all these insane places, but they don't ever act like they're fazed by it. Like they're really cool about it. Like McConaughey still has his like laid back personality and everything. And Hathaway's just great and all that too. And then another depiction of Matt Damon being way more of an asshole in this one than like the other stuff, like the Odyssey. But I love this film. I absolutely love the way the whole planet looks, just the emotional stakes of the whole film. Then I think like by the end, it shifts into this element in the last hour that's just kind of saying that love transcends all data. And it was just like, oh, it's just such a true meaning that it has to it.
See that again.
I'd be so curious to get your take on it. Yeah, I would love to hear about that, because it's a unique moment in Nolan's filmography. I think he was really shooting for something that was like a very modern kind of 21st century take on space travel. Like it feels like it takes a lot of the best ones. Like I felt a lot of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but told totally in it from an original angle, like very emotional kind of driven sort of movie. Yeah, like I absolutely loved it all from start to finish. It all just was one of those visually striking films Nolan made too. Like just all those, it all just really gets in your head. It's like an emotional value that it has about it. That's just it really hits you raw. Okay. And I feel like no one's never been that raw. And maybe the Odyssey is on that level of raw too. Oh, I think about it, but this was just it hit a lot of notes that I absolutely loved it better than ever.
Check it out again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, that was brilliant. Because a lot of it just didn't really know what to think like the first time around, but then you rewatch it, and it's just a lot more. Another one I'm excited to talk about is rewatching Rambo: First Blood.
Okay. Have you still never seen it?
Recommended strongly. That was like one of my first action movies I saw growing up, and I was just like, this is just amazing. I was obsessed with this movie. I think, I think I had to be like, I was about 11 or 12 when I first saw it. I was very young. It's a little too young for it. It's a very it's kind of a gore fest.
That's what I keep hearing or
reading about. It's a lot, man, but it's all about survival instinct. It's just it's a very simplistic kind of story. It's just Sylvester Stallone, he's basically falsely accused of something. He's just out in the woods, just trying to lay low and survive. And you never know what's going to happen, who's going to pick up on him, where is this all going to go next. So it's brilliant in how it's all told. I mean, the action is so brilliant. It's one of the best, most timeless looking action movies of the 80s, I think. And it was made in 82, so like early 80s range. It was one of the it's almost like the simplicity is what makes it happen. I think if it had any more to it, it almost wouldn't be the same thing. Yeah, it's not too much dialogue. It's really just Sylvester Stallone's performance that carries it. I think it's probably my favorite, along with Rocky, probably my favorite thing he's done.
Nice. Yeah, I still do need to see that, man. It's been
I'd be so excited to get your take on it.
yeah.
I think you'd be a fan.
It's one of those movies I haven't gotten to yet.
It's cool. It's really cool. And I feel like, honestly, like I've rewatched bits of the sequels. They've never hit the same level of magic for me as that one. Maybe there was one in 2008 that was just like, maybe it seems too stylized now, though, because it was like, that was just gory as hell. Dude.
Yeah,
way more gory.
The newer ones were like super
They
gory,
went
intense.
far.
It's like almost like just to be gory.
I think it was just to be gory. Yeah, I don't think it had much reason. I don't think it was bringing anything new to the table. The first one didn't do already.
Yeah, because he like did a comeback with Rocky Balboa around that time.
Yep.
I think he did the new Rambo in 2008, and
that's
Rocky
right.
Balboa was like 2005 or 6.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was like kind of doing like, let me be old man Rocky now. Let me be old man Rambo. It's just like, I mean, you know.
I thought Rocky Balboa was fine.
Yeah, Rocky Balboa was great.
I actually really love that one. I do love that one personally.
I think in a way it's my.
It's like a comeback role.
It's my favorite, my absolute favorite, just because he deals with such I mean, I think there's a great message that's being said throughout that whole movie.
It is. It's unique to that
great way, and the first movie's okay. I mean, I like Rocky. I do like the original Rocky a lot. It's iconic, but
I think the new one might get to the heart of it even more.
Does.
I've always loved that one. I've always found that one back and forth.
To me, it's the most rewatchable. I've seen that movie the most. The most times.
That one just has a lot of heart to it. It's a sincerely inspiring comeback role. Yeah, it's like
because like he doesn't even win at the end. He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to
show that he did it for himself.
That's kind of what's so cool about it.
Yeah. So good.
That's a brilliant movie, man. I really want to rewatch that. Yeah,
what's up, brother?
That's great.
So good.
Yeah, I think that one holds up way better than.
Sometimes I'll watch it when I'm like sad. I need something.
That's a pick you up kind of. Yeah, I feel like Rainbow's never been on that level of pick you up. You know.
I think Rainbow's a different vibe.
Oh wait, Rocky. I mean, wow. I literally got the two mixed up.
But yeah, that Rocky's definitely a pickup.
Rocky's a pick. Yeah, not Rainbow. Rainbow's not a picky up. So I'll clarify that. Yeah, God no. No, Rainbow's intense. Rainbow's just you're thankful to survive.
You're like, people watch Augie or whatever. They're like, yeah, you know, I was thinking about throwing on Seven or Zodiac. I'm like, maybe it's not too heavy in front of my kid.
Yeah, I'm not desensitized at all. You know. Oh man, I was trying to look up Rocky Balboa, but yeah, it's all right. It's making me too scatterbrained to do that. So, to simply put, First Blood's amazing. That's a great one. I really want to rewatch the Rocky movies now that we're talking about them, but particularly Balboa. That one hits a sweet spot. That's unique to it. And I also checked out The Long Walk for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
My God, I loved it.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
That was really entertaining.
Yeah, the acting is really good.
Oh, that's particularly what stands out. I mean, Cooper Hoffman, I was like, I'm a huge fan of Licorice Pizza, and to see him again, and I thought he was on the same level of brilliant, it stole the show.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a good job, and I think it's just nice to see Stephen King adaptations really doing its thing now. Like, I feel like they found a good footing with telling his movies on screen.
Yeah, because seriously, his writing is like made for movies. It feels like, and it's like that was just another phenomenal Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the horror, the heart and the horror of like the story. It's a wonderful balance of intimacy with the characters, but man, you're scared of who's going to be executed. It's like anyone could die at any moment, feeling all throughout.
Just that
uncomfortable.
It's a feeling of dread the whole time.
The whole time,
somebody's going to die. You know, 49 out of 50 people are going to die.
Right. It's unsettling. It's like you're really scared just being close to them. It's like, man, this is your last. Knowing this is their fate. It's unsettling.
And like just to see like those kids go through the amount of different ways that they're like trying to hang on. Like taking shits while they're walking, or like their foot being rubbed to the ground, basically.
Yeah.
Getting sick, like all these things. I mean, it's just kind of like, ooh, it's intense.
Just a very intense survival mode. Yeah, it is very emotional. Yeah, there's a lot to it. By the end of that was just very sweeping, I thought, in the end.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many Stephen King films adaptations out there. They're all so unique and different from each other. That's another one that's just, wow, I can't compare that to anything like that's in the Stephen King realm. That was very unique story. I want to read the book sometime.
Yeah, the book's pretty good.
There's so much King I need to read. I know there's so many damn stories out there he's made. They all sound great. So I want to check them all out eventually.
Sure.
But yeah, I thought that was just another great mark in the Stephen King's filmmaking. And I'll tell you, one I've watched a few times, and I know I've talked about this one before, but I think I have enough fresh takes on it, make it a little fresh, but just revisiting Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master. Million things about it.
Yeah.
I think what I simply will say about it this time is, I think what I get out of it is, it's a little similar to a lot of what you were saying about Haine in a sense, where it's like, everything about it seems like it's intense and heated when you look at the surface of it, but when you dive in, there's a comfort about it as well. Like, you get this feeling of just, they're just guys being guys in a lot of ways. Like, they just go through this big journey together in a lot of ways, and kind of like find find something new in themselves that you almost wouldn't really expect out of it in a lot of ways. Like I find the movie uniquely very freeing to watch it. That's just what I've gotten out of it the past few times. That movie is about as comfortable as putting on a blanket at the end of the day. It's like it's really got its own way about it. So
Yeah, that's I've seen it like 3 times now, and
it's a pretty unique movie.
I do think it's like a masterpiece of a film. I think I need a space I want out quite a bit though, because it's a lot to take in for me.
It is a lot.
In a way, so it's kind of just
it's one of the biggest everything and nothing movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it is a lot too. Yeah, it's just a unique movie all around. So rewatching that, it's always kind of profoundly great. And then I wanted to talk about a Knife in the Water, which I watched this based off of Dead Calm.
Okay.
I was thinking about that movie a lot, and this is Roman Polanski's first movie. He made this in the early '60s, and I thought this was just brilliantly told in it's all about its atmosphere. Like it's all set at a lake house, and it's all just set out sea, and you got 3 characters that just basically just shit slowly but surely gets crazy from it all. Just going on a boat ride, picking up a hitchhiker, and then it's like, oh shit, literally, it's almost the exact same formula and plot, but it was really cool to see, I think, this take on it. Like a lot of the shots and just the directing, it's very slow burner, and it's a lot more of a lot less dialogue in this take. I thought it was just all kind of visually communicated, but damn, the visuals were striking. I mean, all throughout, it was just a really powerful looking kind of mood the whole movie has, and it really conveys that kind of like sunny afternoon at a picnic, and then sometimes it gets stormy and rainy, but it's like it just conveys the whole picture in a lot of ways. And by the end of it, it's just it's pretty unsettling where it goes in the end. Yikes. Great movie. Yeah, it's a great thriller. Roman Polanski. Fucking weirdo. Fucking asshole. I was like, damn, yeah. It's always complex. That's always one of the most complex ones. He's made some genius masterpieces, but my God, he's a prick. Yeah, it's very challenging and
crazy.
Very crazy. Yeah, but that movie, it's like when you watch his movies, there's a level there too where it's like, damn.
Knife in the Water.
Yeah, Knife in the Water. Yeah, that was great. Yep, Iron Man. I rewatched one called Brewster McCloud. That was Robert Altman's one of his first movies he made. That was made in 1970. It is a great comedy.
Okay.
It is downright hilarious from start to finish. Got this guy named Bud Cort. He's very dry. Basically, it's just a story of him, just like he's just this dreamer kid who just kind of like has a lot of dreams and passions for himself. And it's just about him just going out to pursue what he wants, which is to fly this bird through a stadium. And the whole movie is just kind of building it, just operating it, meeting a lot of other people along the way who just have funny perceptions on him, or like they just don't know what to think of what he's doing. Kind of like often feeling misunderstood, but the movie's message is kind of not give a fuck about that and just sort of do you kind of thing, or like follow what your heart wants to do. The whole movie's great at getting across a really optimistic kind of feeling, but it's very quirky and silly, like very offbeat, sometimes kind of a dark comedy. It reminds me a lot of the Coen brothers kind of way of writing, but it's a really cool movie ultimately. Yeah, I definitely would recommend checking that out. Yeah, but then I've rewatched The Good, the Bad, the Ugly quite a few times. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I think I saw it once. Maybe when you let me borrow it a long time ago. I think. Maybe that even that 2018, 2019 era.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It's just I had to rewatch it. I don't really remember anything about it, but it was long.
It's a lot. That is the epitome of it's a lot, dude. I think that's a very demanding. Like you need to kind of make the whole day around it. It's such an event kind of movie, and that's when I think I grew up rewatching that a lot. I was often like, what's the magic of this movie? And then I think somewhere along the way, it just kind of reveals itself. It's just the directing, the character. It's just almost simply in how it's told. It's a simplicity about it, but yet it is wonderfully impactful, getting across such epic environment, just such great characters development, such great writing. Like honestly, a lot of reasons I love Quentin Tarantino's filmmaking. It hits me on a lot of those kind of notes, but like in a full on, generally he made like kind of like offbeat westerns. You call us, I guess, spaghetti westerns. They were meant to kind of break the rules of like the traditional westerns and just be raw, just gritty as it gets. I think it's one of the grittiest films ever made.
Yeah,
and it gets across an aesthetic that's just, man, it's powerful and it's heavy. It's a lot. It's just so much for its time. We made in the mid '60s like that. It's a cool movie. I definitely recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch it. I mean, I just need to sit down and try to check that out again. And I do want to revisit more of Clint Eastwood in general.
Dude, seriously, Eastwood's
his films,
one of the best actors. Yeah, his legacy really holds up in that movie. Like he's kind of like, he's the good in that movie, and he's a really complex character. One of the coolest things about the movie is that not everyone lives up to their title. It's like sometimes the good will do like some weird things to bend the rule. He'll bend the rules sometimes. Sometimes the bad, you admire him for his moral code. Then the ugly, sometimes he's got his great moments. It's just very surreal how that happens in that movie. It twists a lot of irony to the title, and Usually it's not exactly what it seems. I think it's a really subtle character piece, and I think you have to see it a few times to really click with like and love all those elements, because sometimes it's like a bit of a what the hell the first time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of great movies are like that, kind of like that Ace in the Hole feeling. Like honestly,
true.
pretty similar to like. Yeah, it's just kind of like you're in the head of a lot of psychopaths in this movie. Sometimes that's just a very surreal. I gotta see this a few times to really absorb what it's going for, kind of feelings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I certainly had to. Yeah, and then today, actually, before I got here, I watched another movie by that director called Once Upon a Time in America. Really, I mean, it's a weird one to talk about because that's one of the toughest movies to recommend because it's like almost 5 hours in time. Yeah, and I spaced this out over a few days, so I didn't literally like watch it all today. But man, it's a hell of a great crime movie. Honestly, it's Robert De Niro in it. Slow burner as it gets. It's like I feel like his take on the crime. This is the only crime film he ever made. He made this in the mid '80s. But basically, it just kind of reverts all the rules of crime filmmaking because it's just all about Robert De Niro's kind of an old man in the beginning, and he's just kind of missing his youth, missing his young years. That he like feels like he really like. I guess just feels like he has he's holding on to a lot of regret also kind of feeling. So you're just kind of following him around, going back to these like places that are ancient and kind of have like meaning to him from his past. Then the whole movie kind of about an hour in, it kind of goes to flashback mode and you're just watching him as a child kind of growing up and everything. You just mingling with all these characters, getting involved in a lot of criminal activity and stuff like that. And also just meeting a lot of great like friendships that were like kind of at their best phase when they were younger kind of thing. So then it's like, then you see him get older and he goes back to like a lot of those roots, and then it's just like, and then it can all just get very like challenging for him as it goes. Like he kind of just, some of it kind of messes with him in a lot of ways, and it kind of corrupts, like some of it ends up kind of corrupting him in a lot of ways. So it ends up just being this kind of like, it's such a heavy note. It's like kind of tragic and bittersweet, but also kind of like a gentle, kind of like nostalgic kind of feeling it has to it.
Okay.
That's what makes it stand out in the crime genre. I would say it has more of an emotional heart to it than most would, because it's just very, it just feels very. It's got this very bittersweet, nostalgic tone about it. Ultimately, it's often doesn't have a lot of dialogue. Even a lot of it's just kind of observing, characters and just how like a lot of the most random things can be ancient to you. Kind of like it may be like this. It's almost looking at things as if like, well, this may not mean something to everyone, but like to me, this is like kind of my world almost. It's really cool how it conveys that. It's a really cool movie. Honestly. I could almost see how that influenced a lot of like Scorsese's later crime movies too. You can certainly feel elements like Goodfellas and a part of it in a lot of that too. It even has Joe Pesci in it as a character in some of it. Yeah, but yeah, it's a De Niro showcase all the way, and it's just one of the most epic. And De Niro's been in so many epic movies, and that's probably one of the most epic things he's ever done. Maybe the most. It's a pretty extraordinary movie. I loved it personally.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to read about that one.
Yeah, I recommend it. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a tough one to recommend for its extreme running time. But man, when you're in it though, it's like it's got its merit. It's got value.
Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really great crime movie.
Cool.
Yeah, for a guy you normally get westerns from.
The director.
Yeah, Sergio Leone. Yeah. Yeah, and also you watched It Follows kind of recently on a side note. Yeah, I love that movie. Is that what you've seen?
I love It Follows. I've had I have the copy of that upstairs. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy that movie. It was one of the, I think when it came out, it was just one of those like first kind of almost art style, like art house kind of indie horror film. Yeah. Recognizing some of that.
Exactly.
Really cool premise. I mean, really cool like dreadful feeling throughout the whole thing. The score is great.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a twist of movie.
Incredible. Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. On every rewatch, I kind of just appreciate those elements more and more. Yeah, again, almost like a John Carpenter kind of feel, but updated, almost like in a very modernist kind of sense, like very offbeat kind of shots, and soundtrack's amazing. I love the slow pace of it. Yeah. Like it's a real slow burner, and you're just, it feels claustrophobic whenever shit hits shit's going crazy in that movie.
Yeah, they got some really subtle like scares in it too. That's like makes you like,
subtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
They got a sequel coming.
Oh, they really?
Yeah,
sweet.
Same writer, director,
great,
and
David Robert Mitchell,
actress that was in it too. The lead.
That's awesome.
Called They Follow.
That's cool, man. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because he actually dropped a new movie. I think it's getting pretty buzzed right now. It's called The End of Oak Street.
That was him. Yeah, I do want to see that.
I'm pretty interested in that.
Dinosaur movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm curious to see what his take is on all of that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that director. He did that. Under the Silver Lake. That was another really cool movie. I'm pretty sure I've geeked about that one on here before. But yeah, simply a great movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, that probably covers about everything I got to say. I think I've already talked about most of the movies I've seen there otherwise. Yeah, but yeah, got a few more minutes to kill, and I'll say personally, I've been on a drumming kick lately. I picked up an electronic drum kit the other day, and I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of that. That's been a really fun hobby lately. Yeah. And today I was particularly influenced just by Travis Barker's drumming. We were talking about that documentary you saw.
Yeah,
recently.
I did watch the documentary. I didn't mention earlier, but it's on Hulu now. Louder Than Fear, I believe it's called. And I'm a huge Blink-182 guy. I love Blink and Tom, Mark, and Travis. And Travis Barker put out an autobiography like in 2015, and it is awesome. It's really, really up close and personal on his life and like a lot of that tragic stuff that he went through. And this documentary does a great job of like showcasing some of that along with like what he's been up to in the modern sense now in the last like 10 years. And it just captures everything from the band to his life, and the plane crash almost killed him. And I mean, obviously, as a legacy drummer, the guy is a monster. He's just a monster,
he really is, man.
Differently.
He is insane, man. His technique is absolutely insane on the drums, and just really appreciating that value. Man, what a guy. What a legend he's left.
But yeah, highly recommend checking out the documentary.
I really want to see it.
If you're not really too familiar with him.
I'm really not. I don't know too much about him, so like I think that would be perfect to watch that. Yeah. I just know he's a phenomenal drummer. Yeah. So
the guy covers like every genre, dude. He doesn't like just stick with like one genre. He can drum to just about to anything. Like he can really drum to anything.
Man.
Yeah.
That's beastly.
He was talking on some interview recently. The guy was asking him, you've done hip hop, you've done punk, you do Blink, you do all this stuff. Like, he's like, and I know you're influenced and can drum all these different styles, but he's like, have you ever thought about doing like a jazz album or something? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, one day. He's like, I Travis Barker doing a jazz album would be it would be incredible.
That sounds amazing. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear his take on that because it would be very original.
Oh yeah, for sure. I could see him partnering up with some really interesting musicians to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Can imagine. That's a crazy. That sounds so crazy.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, that's cool, man. Drumming away.
Yeah, drumming away. Yeah, just picking back up on it. I'm definitely gonna have to rehearse on some stuff. I'm loving it right now. It's great to get back into the swing of that.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
Still would like to play music with you one day.
We ought to. Yeah, I'd love that. I could get all those instruments together. We can just play. Yeah, play bass guitar, drums. We can do any of them.
Do it all.
Or even sing if you want to.
Yeah, man. Well, that's pretty much all I got, man.
Cool, man. I think I'm the same. I think
video games, hang out for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in and checking us out, the new Reel to Reel, and we'll come back at it the next time around with some new movies and new things to talk about. Be on the lookout for some TV Land stuff coming soon.
Yeah.
I think we'll be posting some clips on the Reel to Reel for TV Land.
It's looking exciting.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, it's almost there, guys. So thanks for the support.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening. It's always a pleasure.
All right. Later.